Well, hello there guys, and welcome to the Wheel of Death. We got all sorts of bad wheels recently, right? We got here, the evil one, and still somehow that is not as evil as the most recent endgame content. The game back and up and running? I don't know, hopefully we'll find out soon. Let's go to quality too? Yes, apparently. We will fake the wheel of FU. Alright guys, so we need to get some work done. We're gonna start with quest 2. Well, it should be fine now. There's a down kitty. I am aware of that. But this is not down. And Konchuzanki's not down. So, it's silent? No, it's not silent. Anyways. We got jam to do, lads. We got a big jam to do. Maybe this is the end. I doubt it. Right. We're gonna be looking for additional options here. So, for quest 1, I think we're mainly fine. Quest 1, I have kind of written it out already. I did that yesterday. I need to figure out Questerino 2. So, for Gore, use X1 strong one, I can Hyperion Storag. Well, Sebastian, let's hear what people have to say here. We just need more people. Alright. So, for Dazzler, I use Darkhand Spider-Man. What else? Who else is good for Dazzler? Anybody know? In theory. I mean, Limber does screw that. I think in theory, Spider Ham is workable. Yeah, I wanted to say. Whoops. I think that's not. Tarancho. That's a nastro. Non buscate basta. Welke elkaar de tweet? De lead X staat hier zo. Die zijn schat hier. Deze? What? Что-то новое зритель. Табивис. Спектакль. Согласен. Подать. Арбади. Ауген. Is the game gonna be up? I do not know. So aside from Spider-Ham. No, it's some sort of Google Cloud issue. So who else could be decent here? I think Spider-Ham is quite good. I mean Spider-Gwen, if you do have her ranked, but it wouldn't need to be mad. I think Gwen is probably quite decent. Silk, the Silk work for sure, shouldn't it? Last compensation. They might. You can take it.
Ricky $4.99. We need 10 Titan crystals as compensation. 10 because my first 5 would be just gentle. Smiley face emoji. Crying face emoji. Smiley face emoji.
Aim bigger, buddy. Should be 10 Titan Nexuses. Good. Anybody tried silk for this? Does silk work, Shredder? Do you know for a fact? I'm speaking specifically to Mr. Shredder and 7. Do you know whether silk does work or not? Or is it just a guess? Miguel got that power control? He's not here though. At least he's not listening. Can he be used? To do worth tech gem? I would not give that. Can you ask Karate Mike? Ask what? Why is the game down? Because Google servers are down. Oh. Can Silk out there's the level 2. I think he probably. Yeah, unless she has that thing, yeah. But well hello there, Sid. Do we know if silk works or not? She works fine. Okay, so silk. Fine. So for the Lady Deathstrike, I used Medusa. Fine. I heard that Storm works well. Right? Who else works? Rocket Raccoon. Alright. And you do have some willpower healing in that fight. Okay, is there anybody else that's... I want to talk to Karate Mike. What for? Valora? What's Valora? More. Okay, fair enough. Okay. For the Enchantress, we have Ant-Man. I happen to know that he works. Quicksilver is good. Besides that, here, in theory, I mean, we do have Hulk. I actually think Hawkeye should be good. Oh, what's up, Joyly? What else is good? Don't really want power control of any sort. Iron Man, in theory, should be decent. Right? Black Panther Civil War. Doesn't Iron Man work? I don't know. No, wait, unblockable specials. No, we do not know. No, not Iron Man. I want to do it in. I need to do it in too. That's a scheduled maintenance though. It's a Google server. Servers are out. Alright, I'm gonna leave that as Ant-Man health situation. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Fraggle Who else is good for Fraggle? We need your big brains, people. I think in theory, I mean, Collapse could be decent. I think. You know, now auto block, you can punish the heavy and then you can kind of burst it down. I think it should be decent-ish. At the very least, viable. Whoops, that's meant to be here. Cyclops. Ta-da. So besides Cyclops, what else could be good? I did not rank. I actually can't. I mean, I could if the game was up, because I think I can get a missing out list. Because I have a desperate shortage of tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas. I can rank 2 champions. Rank 4 2 champions. Void Need Awakening? Yes. I think so. I mean, it might be theoretically possible with an Awakened one, but it's much harder. I mean, you might, but if you don't have any other options. Okay, who else could be half decent there? I mean, in theory, Mordo could be okay. I don't see a reason Mordo wouldn't work. You do have, like, more power and stuff. Right? I think Mordo is usable. Oh, Phoenix. In there? Yeah, Phoenix. Phoenix if you play it slowly. Can Mordo be used? Alright, fine, let's leave that. Cyclops. I mean, I think the duck might work. I don't know. Nightcrawler could be usable, I think. That's fine. That's what Torang's going on because he did some rank 4s. Nope, I'm just out. Because I did rank 3 gentle from rank 1, and obviously I had Lady, Spider-Woman, and Jean Grey rank up 3s. Cersei will be back up. I have no idea when Cersei will be back up. Alright, let's leave there. So now we have the arcade. I saw Nick get clapped by arcade using Servant. Okay, who else works decently for arcade? I think Odin. I don't know about that. Werewolf's typically quite good for arcade. Werewolf. Galen? Odin does not sub the auto block now. Still, he should be decent for it. He's werewolf progress. Yeah, I figured. Honestly, Simon would be good, but nobody has got ranked. Death of Shield, not so much. I think I'm gonna leave it at that then. Yeah, we burned through tier 3 alpha, tier 6 basics crazy fast because you need them for 7 stars, rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, cause even for rank 4 you need them. Anyways, it is quite rough. Meanwhile, you guys can be hitting all them good buttons. I am trying to be helpful to you guys, you know that. I already did this piece on it. Okay, so here we have crossbones that works. Chels. Chels is decently good for this. I see. That is not true, Brian. I don't think that most of the champions that you need. In fact, it's completely up to most champions you need for this content are in the baseball. Standard. What else is good for the leader? Hawkeye should be decent. Holy base Hawkeye enjoy. Okay, what else we have? We know. Is the wedding fund correct? I think so. Did off? It might. We have. Oh, you mean from the Ricky thingy? Yeah, I need to add $6 to it. It's 85.91. There you go. That is wrong. Okay, so what's good for that leader? I mean, in theory, Red Guardian should be decent for it. But I don't want to ride Red Guardian because then I'm going to piss people off. I don't think Lady Deathstrike would work too well, though. Unfortunately. I mean, sure, Lady Deathstrike. Let's move on to the next one. I mean, how? I genuinely did this with Havoc and 2 revives. You guys can suck it. It almost was 1 revive. But I do not recommend it. Like, yeah, I use photons. It was Havoc and almost in 1 revive. End up using 2. Yeah. So we have Dupe Dazzler here. And we have Professor X Cyclops. I think it's Dupe Cyclops, right? I mean, Cyclops, whatever. Oops. Dazzler, Dupe. I mean, Cyclops, Dazzler, and Professor X. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Iceman.
Shut up and take my money.
Sith Supreme $109.
Well, thank you very much, Sith Supreme, for $109. We are on exactly 1,500 then. That's a very nice even round number. Hopefully nobody ruins it for the stream. Thank you, dude. You're way too generous, man. At this rate, when you're in Latvia, I'm gonna have to make my mom adopt you. Yeah, I know the game's down for everybody. Nightmare Race Gentle was Nightmare. I hope they do adjust that. Would Wags work? In theory, if you do have him ranked. I can rank him down, but I think it would be quite awful fight. I think you can do it with Sunspot too, with Sunspot. And a few revives. Okay. Human Torch. I used Hulk for it. Other options would include Mortal Hulk definitely works too. Maestro can do this fight. Anki tried it. Overseer? Does Overseer should work. Anybody tried She-Hulk or Deathless She-Hulk for this one? Someone be a hero, donate 4321. That would be amazing, by the way. Oh no, huh? Don't you need debuffs on them? Don't need, like, what do you need debuffs on them for? Debuff to defend, 3 debuffs on defender equals immune to dot, but we're fine. I'm sure about Red Hulk though. Doesn't he like do energy damage? One second. Doesn't he like give him infinite smolders and then he gets no flames and shit? Oh, the node changed your damage trap. Yeah, that makes sense. You're clever. You're clever. You are clever. We got a clever one here. Still down? Down for what, BGB? What you offering? Because, you know, I might be. And no flames. Yes, yes, yes. No. He can enter no flames because of node and stuff. But yeah, finish the deal with that. Going to rank flashing like a boss? Maybe. Okay, anyways. Serpent. We have America Chavez here. And we have Count Nefaria. The rest of the champions kind of fucked, I think. Can Wong do that? Oh, I mean, we have Nefaria. Can Wong do that? Can't connect? We might be able to connect. Who knows? Can Gamora delay the... Yeah, you should be able to, Zephyr. Level 3s exclusively. Can Wong do this? Is the big question. But you use Wong in the beginning probably anyway, so I'm not even gonna mention that. But in theory, can Wong do this? Yeah, I don't know when they did it probably. Alright, so Spiral. I use Daddy Luke, but you can definitely use Bullseye for this, right? There's no reason you shouldn't be able to. Besides that, you can probably DPX. Maybe? I don't know. Domino, I see people use. Domino. Well, you can use anyone pretty much, yeah. Hit Monkey. DPX. Black Widow? Fuck Black Widow. I'm gonna write him down. Screw that bitch. Yeah, it is quite tough, right? Is that Nico deal worth it? What Nico deal? For Dust, you got Negasonic as well. What else do we have here? Well, who else works half decent here? I mean, I used Sunspot, but it wasn't a great time at all. Okay, Dazzler should be able to do it, yeah. Phoenix kind of works, yeah. But it's not a great fight. And then finally, I used Beta Bill. It was not a great fight. What did you guys use? Moondragon is a great option. Moondragon. What else? Mantis is usable too. Mantis. I mean, it's shitty fight. Okay, so we do have this. We have done the quest too. Do you guys want me to record my run breakdown / guide for quest 2 live? Or should we start working on quest 3? What do you prefer? Not a great fight, it's kind of running 3 minutes content. Some fights are alright. Should I work on that? No. I don't think it's a good idea at all. Does my game show scheduled maintenance? It is not scheduled, but it is an issue with login. Do it. Alright, you guys want to see me record some stuff? I can record some stuff. That's easier for me. Okay then. Game's done. We know it's game's done. But you get me talk about this. Oh, in question. You're in minority. You're gonna have to wait a bit. Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yesterday I did quest 1 and I uploaded my run breakdown and quest 1 guide as 2 separate videos. Today we're going to be talking about quest 2 and I'm going to be using it as both my run breakdown and the guide. Effectively, the link to this spreadsheet that is originally made by Lord Jerkface, that I'm kind of co-opting for my own needs, will be in the video description. I will leave a link to the original blank sheet as well as my version of it, where I have made a duplicate tab of every quest and effectively wrote down what I used for those fights and what are other options for those fights. So that will work as the framework for the guide. Also, as I'm going to be doing my run breakdown, I will be kind of explaining some of these fights, how well they went, what I would change for my own run, so on and so forth. Right, hopefully that is clear. So we are going to be talking about quest 2 again here. And the first fight, we have Gore. And Gore in quest 2 is quite awful, right? In quest 1, we had quite a few options. In quest 2, we really have the 2. It's Wong and it's Void. I think Void is easier if you have him awakened. Wong is doable, but it is fairly tricky to get set up. And even then, it's like 7-8 minute fight or whatever. Maybe 10+ minute fight, depending how well you can use Wong. I use the rank 2 Wong. It can be unduped Wong. But it can also be soloed. In effect, you kind of have to solo it because, you know, if you don't, by the time you ramp up again, he's just going to heal loads. So, Wong's good. Void's better. Didn't have Void. Used Wong. Got the solo. Next up, we have Dazzler. I used Starkhand Spider-Man. That was fairly straightforward solo. I just didn't use special attacks, so I didn't have to worry much about her power. And that's it. You know, Starkey, ramp him up. He hits hard. Didn't use specials. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Besides Starkey, you can use Spider-Ham, Spider-Gwen, and Silk, because Silk, you know, can dex her level 2 if need be. Spider-Ham, giving her extra power, you know, is quite helpful. And, you know, reducing special attack damage and all that other stuff. So Spider-Ham is quite decent as well. You still primarily do want to stick to those level 2s, find whichever strategy works for you. I have not done that fight exactly myself, but I definitely know it works as well as Spider-Gwen and Silk. As per my beautiful audience who have suggested these options. Next up, we have Lady Deathstrike, and I used Medusa for that. Medusa, you know, destroyed it. You know, just level 1, armor shatter, level 2, do some damage, rinse and repeat. Nothing too crazy. It was fairly straightforward. Much, much, much quicker than the first go-around that I did with Iron Man Infinity War in Quest 1. So Medusa was super easy. Rank 3 Medusa is what I used. Additional options would be OG Storm. With the level 3s, you can do a crazy amount of damage then with the OG Storm. Just make sure you do not lose your power on the way. Additionally, Rocket seems to be quite a suitable option because he does have armor breaks on his heavies and on the level 2. So that should be quite helpful. Plus he hits quite hard. And you do have some willpower healing in that fight, which, you know, Rocket being super squishy can be quite helpful. And then Gamora as well. Probably level 3 rotation would be the best for that. Yes, the links to this spreadsheet will be in the live stream chat and in the video description. Do not worry, all the links will be provided to all of you. Right, so let's move on. Fight number 4, Enchantress. So use Quicksilver. This was the fight where I used the first revive of this quest. I just messed up. Like that's about it. I literally got overly excited that I'm gonna explode Enchantress for like million+ damage that I forgot to clear her spell. And you know, bet out level 1. I went back in again, you know, cleared the fight. Quicksilver is amazing for this fight. Worked great. No issues there. Additional options for that Enchantress would be Ant-Man and Hulk as the better ones in my personal opinion. Hulk's probably going to still take 1 to 2 revives. Ant-Man's also very, very good. But yeah, Quicksilver is the best one. I know it's not everybody has him. Definitely doable. I mean, like, you can probably try and use a few other champions like Hawkeye if you have that ranked up. Or, you know, whatever you have ranked up, but then it would be fairly slower and significantly more annoying. Because Enchantress, you know, can be done with anybody, and the trick to this fight is just, you know, dex her special ones and don't parry. Because there's no MD, she's actually easier than you normally fight her in Battlegrounds, if you can dex that level 1. Right, let's move on to Ragnarok. I used Hyperion. Here I did use 1 or 2 revives, because I just messed up. I got a bit too greedy. But with Hyperion's a good option because you have easy access to your special attacks, so you can disable his power again quite quickly. You just need to be mindful. Do not try to do any fancy things by punishing his specials, you know, with your heavies and stuff like that. Just play it slow. Do not try to get 15 Furies. Just make sure that, you know, you do not eat a level 3. And then the fight itself isn't too bad. Again, you do need to punish his heavies to deal with Brace for Impact. And then just make sure that you hit him after he reaches a combo meter of 30. Because, you know, then it gets reset. Because he has a combo shield up until 30. So yeah, Hyperion's good for it. Cyclops should be half decent for it. I have heard people of using Phoenix. I think Nightcrawler should be alright for it too. Because in round 3 I used Starhand Spider-Man, you know, and that was a solo and that went fine. So Howard the Duck there as well. For Arcade, Serpent's fine, but again, you still want to stick to very kind of systematic play against Arcade. You do want to push him to his level 2s, ideally to kind of simplify it, and then just block bait a heavy and punish that with your own heavy. Because, you know, if he can auto-block your unblockables, he is awakened, your true focus does not do anything to his auto-blocks either, and you can still shoot your specials in his block if he doesn't have the charges. It is a soloable fight. Again, I did make a mistake there. I did use one revive, but I shouldn't have. Other than that, it's basically the Arcade fight. And again, you do want to push him to level 2s, bait those, you know, and then just bait out a heavy attack straight after. Do not punish his level 2. Bait out his heavy attack, knock him down, and then, you know, play as normal. And there you go. Most important thing is, again, for the love of God, do not let him get any charge. Do not let him get any, you know, heavy attacks off fully. Always punish it. Additional options for that Arcade, Werewolf. Werewolf in theory should work great. I haven't tried it out here, but I have used Werewolf for Arcades quite a bit in Battlegrounds and elsewhere, and it typically works quite fine because you can always like hit his block and you give him fairly little amount of power, and then you have your unblockable still, and you do have the regen, so you should be fine. Odin could be a decent alternative option as well. For Leader, I personally used Photon. It was, you know, fairly lengthy, like 7 minutes, but it was a solo, so it wasn't half bad. I know that Crossbones works just fine for this. I think Hawkeye, Lady Deathstrike should work reasonably well here as well. I'm sure that you can probably use Bullseye as well if you want. Probably nothing wrong with that. In fact, but yeah. So Leader, it's kind of like, you know, you just do your mediums. Do not degen too much. You'll be fine. Kind of slow play it a little bit. Yeah. So against Bullseye itself. Now here, choke you not. I used Havoc because I didn't have better options. And I was terrified of this fight. Because, again, my Dazzler is rank 2 unduped currently. And then my Iceman's rank 1 unduped. And then, you know, Sunspot is, again, rank 2. And Professor X is rank 1. Which are other alternate options that we are going to discuss here. My Cyclops is rank 1 still. So, I just went in with Havoc. And I fully understand that Havoc... Not everybody plays Havoc as often as I do, because Havoc's like one of my comfort champions. And I actually got this fight down almost in one revive. I messed up at the very end, had to use the second revive. But the point is, with Havoc, you can quite successfully slow play this. You know, throw your first like level 1 and then, you know, parry heavy. Hopefully your feedback sticks. If it doesn't, you can do that again. And slowly but surely build up to your level 3s. And then, you know, your feedback damage, your level 3 damage, you can get off a couple of level 3s, you will be fine. So Havoc can also do this. It's finicky, there's a lot of dancing around, you never want to get cornered in that situation. Not easy, but, you know, it's doable. Most people use Dazzler here if you do have her duped and relatively high sig. As I mentioned, Cyclops with his await counter, just like Professor X. Should be quite decent as well, because then you can push him to level 2s and you do not have to eat as much damage as fast. You'll still probably end up using a Reviver too. Iceman is a very solid option here as well, especially Awakened. Then we have Magneto, House of X. If you do happen to have him ranked, in theory should be decent with his passive stuns, and with a passive stun you can strike him whilst he's past the bar of power, and he's bleed immune. And Sunspot again is, you know, somewhat kind of like brute force option here. Then we do have Human Torch, and I did it with Hulk. I did mess up at one point, so it did cost me a revive, but for the most part, Hulk is quite good counter. Honestly, like, one of the best things against this fight is just the simple fact that you want to single hit heavy attack champions. That is such a good advantage, because then when you do need to knock him down and he gets his protections, you just give him the one smolder. And then when he has one smolder, then, you know, you don't take as much damage. Those incinerates do not, you know, jump at you as much, and it's, you know, still workable, basically. Aside from Hulk, I think Immortal Hulk is quite decent for this. I think I saw Nick use Joe Fixit, but, you know, the man's a madman. He has rank 4 Joe Fixit, and he loves that boy. He is bleed immune, so I don't necessarily recommend using Joe Fixit. I know that Ankit did this with Maestro. In theory, Overseer and Red Hulk should work as well, especially with the Red Hulk. And, you know, She-Hulks, I'm sure you can do that fight too. I'm not sure it's going to be as well. But the cool thing with Red Hulk is, again, that he is usable and all of his damage effectively gets converted to physical. So, you know, could be workable, should be workable. Alright, so next up, Serpent. You know, there's two options. America Chavez, which is what I used. That was a solo, or Count Nefaria. Count Nefaria is also very, very good for this, albeit a bit slower. America Chavez, there's no major issue here for America Chavez, just Serpent fight, basically. One key thing that not a lot of people know, despite Serpent being, you know, such a massive defender, is that during his special attacks, you do not want to be dashing back. Because if you do dash back multiple times during his specials, then he gets more charges, and then he gets his resist up, and then he gets his pierces, and, you know, bad things happen. So keep that in mind. It's super important in these longer fights. When he drops his special, just all block, take it in a block, do not dash back at any point throughout the special attack, basically. Right. Next up we got Spiral. I used Luke Cage. That was like 1 revive because, again, I'm very bad at this game. And there's no other excuse for it. In reality, you can use just about anybody for the Spiral fight. It's just going to be a very finicky fight because every 15 seconds you're going to get faltered. Combat Deja Vu is making her unblockable. And if she does have her blades active, then you can't do, you know, more than medium light medium combo, or the blades are going to come at you. So typically this fight goes with you doing medium light, medium light, medium light, medium light for most of the fight. And then you just make sure that you watch out for that falter. Aside from that, you know, Bullseye should be good, Domino should be decent, Dead Black Force, Hitmonkey, you know, should be options, but it's always going to be a finicky fight. Right. Move on. Dust is Nightmare. I regret using Sunspot. Wish I used Negasonic. Negasonic is much better, easier for this fight. Should have used Negasonic, but I figured, you know, I'm going to bring in the Sunspot. He's got the damage. Yeah, well, Fats Pickens. Because of the Be Like Water node and Slow Armor, it's just not a good time in these specific node combinations. Negasonic is much better. And because of the Dust's lagging my phone, honestly, like, Dust single-handedly was responsible for about 1/3 of my revives, and that's primarily because of the lag. Because in the fight 1, I did great with Ironheart, because Ironheart's like an auto win against Dust, and then in parts 2 and 3, it was just a nightmare. So, anyways, I use Sunspot. It's doable with Sunspot. You do want to be using Negasonic. Alternate options include Dazzler and Phoenix, but again, it's significantly harder. So Negasonic is the best option here. And then for Deathless Thanos, I use Beta Ray Bill. He's alright. He's fine. You know, people say it's like, use Beta Ray Bill because he counters Unstoppable. Honestly, because of the nature of the fight, it barely matters because you hardly ever get to be aggressive enough to trigger it. But, you know, fine. Realistically, though, you do have Moondragon. Moondragon's immune to reverse controls. If you do have the ability or do have rank 2 Moondragon, I would use that because she's immune to reverse controls. And regardless of how long the fight goes, it's a very, very simple, basic fight. So that's what I would have used if mine was at least rank 2. Mantis is an option, Gamora is an option too. So that is effectively quest 2. I did use a few more revives than I did the first time around, but that was solely because of Dust and Dust lagging me to death. Other than that, it actually went equally good, I'd say. Again, as I said, I used a few revives on Thanos as well, but besides the Dust one, like, this one was 1 revive, that was solo, that was 1 revive, this was 2 revives, this was 2 revives, this was solo, that was 1 revive, this was like 2, this was 1, this was solo, that was solo, that was solo, so yeah, it was a slightly over 10 revives somewhere, you know, in between 10 and 15 somewhere, and you know, I guess you could argue that this is a bit harder. Quest 3 is definitely easier though, at least to me, it was easier. And speaking of which, I'm about to start making guide for Quest 3. And, well, I hope you guys find these useful. Again, spreadsheet is made by Lord Jerkface. I will leave a link to the empty spreadsheet in the video description, as well as this spreadsheet where I wrote down my counters and other options. So, hope these are of any use to you guys, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, we have all the information about the next one. Well, hello there, guys. So, there you go. That is the video. That was the video. Alright, so who was bickering there before? Did somebody get gulagged? Who told James to chill out? What is Anthony saying? Is Anthony being neat or not? Stop, man. If we super chat when you're recording, will our message cameo in the video? Yes. Unless I disable the alert box, which I haven't done. But in theory, you can make it so it doesn't happen, but it should. Nobody gulag yet? Okay. The game's back up? Maybe. We'll see. Right. So we just did the video 2. Let me just name the video already. So this is quest 2. Just so I don't mix them later. And let's get the music back on, because Lime's beautiful. Oh no, game's back up. See? I'm in the game. Ta-da! Where's my compensation? Like I'm just not forgetting. Yep. Alright, buddies. Let's get back to business, though. So, we do have quest 3. And KT1 quest 3. So, I have already written down what I used for a single one of fights. Now, we just need to look for alternate options. For the Crystal Premium tab? What about that? What about that Crystal Premium tab? No, the game was down because Google had some sort of issue. It isn't Kabam's fault this time around. I know we all like to bitch on Kabam. It wasn't them this time around. It was the Google. Right, anyways. So this is other options. Oh yeah, if you guys want a link to this spreadsheet because somebody asked. I mean, obviously I'll drop it to videos, but whoops, you guys saw my email. I don't know. Whatever. There you go. And Hawk. Only Hawk can do 1 Huh? Wait, is it too long? It should be fine. It had to be done. Well, I am not recording right now. Oh, that
$198.43.21. It had to be done.
Alright, Moogie. Like, here's the deal, though. YouTube takes 40% of that, so I typically calculate that off. But I'll just assume that there are things that I haven't counted in before, so I'm gonna play with that. But that is a big W, for sure. Thank you. So I could have been technical, and I could have calculated 60% of that sum, but I'll play along because I do think it's awesome. Thank you very much. What should I wait or go in? What do you mean short of options? I mean, you can do dust with other champions, but it's gonna be a revive sync. I know, count 10 revives at least in there. Hey, what's up, Rioman? I am doing fine. Right, so Gore here. Besides Juggernaut, who else can do Gore? I mean, in theory, hear me out. In theory, hear me out here. I don't know, is it possible? Like, I'd say, like, no Juggy, don't do it, but this quest 3, yes. I mean, I did it with Jugs. I didn't do the Stunlock thing, but I did it with Jugs. But, okay, so listen up, listen up. I don't want to be too novel here. For quest 3, if you do not have Juggernaut. I mean, I do have a very, very stupid idea. Game is up. Game is not down. In theory, I'm just talking theoretically. Was I stupid for using Silicon Starch? Yeah. Yeah, stupid for that. That's not the smartest thing. I mean, like, fine. Yeah, it's not for him. Well, it's not for me. In theory, triple Gmod. Oh wait, obviously. Oh wait. Okay, wait. I mean, 3 revives is not the worst thing, so it's fine. Yeah, not put OG Spidey on the spreadsheet. In theory. Not serious, I said in theory. Alright, anyways, listen up. I mean, obviously. I think it's doable. Like, with boost to the rank 2 at least. Adding the relic. And I think it's doable. I would never want to do that. Are you doing this? If I get more than 10% off playing like a third phase, I'll include this as an option. I mean, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, fine. I'll leave though. I think that's a whiting disaster to happen. That's fine. Okay, fine. But besides that, what else can you pick here? I mean, yeah, I'm just. I don't think anybody realistically is viable for this, other than Jax. So I'm gonna leave that. Not sure if anyone. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's fine. So that's what I use. Serpent. What are the other options here? Who else theoretically could work? I mean, titanium maybe. Probably. Titanium probably can do this. Yeah, I don't think so. So besides that, Zola maybe. Maybe Zola. There you go. Pretty much. Just don't have what I do here. Other options. Other options for what? Anyways, here, Lady Deathstrike, I use Null. Who else is a good option here? I think Purgatory can work, right? Hey, what's up, Imbalance? Shatra? I think Shatra, Werewolf. I think Werewolf could be an option. Oh no, Werewolf is not an option. It goes after me. I made that mistake in past. Shatra. Purgatory? I think when she gets tech charged and she starts unbreaking, so Purgatory. Purgatory. Okay. Don't. Hitting no flames in the torch fight because you're not reading the notes, buddy. Read the note that changes all your damage to physical or energy, and then you alternate knocking him down. Gladiator? Yeah, probably. I mean, probably. Not that anybody uses that trash, but okay, fine. Time me out? I know who timed you out. It's because you said Dazzler. Technically, Dazzler, Okoye, and Yelena are the Gulag words now. So, don't if you hate yourself enough to critical. Oh yeah. Technically, anybody is an option if you hate yourself enough, I suppose so. But the idea of this is to try and make it less shit for others. Right? There you go. Anyways. Against Enchantress, I used Photon, worked well. I think Luke Cage is quite good for this. Yeah, I think Luke Cage is quite good for this. Anybody else? She-Hulk? I don't really want to do that. No, I don't think so. So I'm gonna write Luke Cage. Alright, let's move on to the next one. I mean, Blade, yeah, probably, but who has it? She-Hulk's also gonna be a super long fight, probably. Anyways, so Thor Ragnarok. I used Darkhand Spider-Man. Well, Angela should be quite good for this. Besides Starkey, also be good. Also decently good. It still down? No, it's worse now. Angela, Darkhand Spider-Man. I mean, in theory, Blade should be okay, right? I mean, Medusa is probably fine too. Not great, but at least usable. Nice one, sure. Let's move on. So, for arcade here, I used Guillotine 2099. I hear that what a punch at 29. I mean, should be usable. I think it's great. Should be probably fine-ish. Arcade. Yeah, CMM works, right? Who else works here? I mean, Monkey probably is. Yeah, Monkey does okay. Hey, that sounds like a stupid title for a cartoon or some shit like that. Alright, anyways. I don't think Silk's probably good for this, but I mean, you can probably take it down, but I think it's good. So I think CMN Monkey is better. Alright, anyways, fine. I actually used the Mega Red for this leader. A solo. I finally got to use my rank 3 Omega Red. My rank 3 Sig 145 Omega Red smacked down that leader with full health, 30 spores, locked in, unloaded this entire time. Used crossbones? I don't think crossbones is an option here. I'm talking about quest 3. Right, for that leader. Sentinel, I hear is good. Probably. Red Skull. Yeah, Red Skull makes sense. Anybody else makes sense? I think that's what it is, right? I mean, Domino probably can be used too. I think it should probably be fine in Domino too. Yikes ball. That's not great. Alright. So for Bullseye, I use Gentle. There's Bastion and there's Okoye. Bastion, Okoye. I don't think there's much else, right? Yeah. Yeah, of course Okoye does. Except I don't have her as 7-star, so. Yeah, okay. Fine, let's try the Jean Grey. She's not great, but she can do it. Bastion was good for it for sure. Gentle was too. It's great for it. So use Luke Cage for human torch. Besides that, I think also good for this. Deadpool X-Force, probably good for this. Who else? Who else? And the gulag is insufferable today. Okay. It's back online. Yeah, I know. I'm just working on guide. Did you time out imbalance again? Imbalance said Okoi. Here are. Zola is allowed now, by the way. Because I just pulled. Dazzler, Okoye, Len will net you in Gulag. I know, this is kind of like a trap stream. But... fine. So yeah, Deadpool X-Force. Okay. I'm gonna write in. Gulag word suck, bro. No, they don't. Is Sim no go? No, Sim can work. Yeah, Sim works. Because all your damage is made into physical, so specials do physical damage too. That's fine. I'll write those in, I think. I mean, Rocket in theory. I don't know. Alright, Rocket, why not? Can I for a 6-star Nigo? No. I don't think she's gonna hold up as 6-star. Yeah. I'm going for the Elena because I knew she'll put in work. Like as Joe, I saw Nick do it like rank 4 Joe in the other quest, and I mean he did it, but it's not great. I mean, like, sure. Sure, why not? But it's not great. Okay, Serpent is quite easy. Either you have Kushala. I mean, okay, in theory, you do have the werewolf, why not? Yes, I do have werewolf. Or kindred. Kindred. Go for a bad time, yeah. I used Overseer for dodge. Do you see Overseer in list of options here? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so for the spiral, I used Shuri. It was easy, good time. I think Okoye is great for this as well. Easy, great time with that. Jabari is probably okay. I think Jabari can do it decently. And Black Panther Silver too. There you go. Well, Kindred survive Serpent. Well, Kindred actually is great because he siphons his health. And you know, he steals his power and stuff. And Werewolf, as you said, it's like one revive. Like, because Werewolf also has regen, but and again, the thing against Serpent, I mentioned this in time I was recording. You get exponentially more block damage against Serpent because he's ramping up, and he's ramping up mainly because you're dashing back during special attacks. As long as you can throw a significant amount of specials yourself, you can actually keep his charge very low. So one of the ways to deal with Serpent is to never dash back during special attacks, and then, you know, it's not that bad. So let me show you this. So go fight Serpent. Let me show you this. So practice against Serpent. Alright, so let's say I'm gonna bring in a, I don't know, 5-star wolf here. I have 5-star wolf ranked up. I'm gonna show you 2 fights. Yeah? keep an eye on his charges and how quickly he ramps up. I'm not gonna try and play Wolf, you know, perfectly here, don't worry. Okay, so I'm gonna bait out this now. Okay, well, that was not meant to be that, but basically he's at 3 charges now because I already dashed back during his special attack. And I'm gonna bait this out, let's say. See, he gets the 4th charge. And now I dash back, and like whenever you do dash back, he gets like more of these charges, especially like on level 2s as well. And it's just generally not a good time. I think he's at like 6 charges now. Right? And that's how he ramps up, and that's when he starts getting his resistance, his pierces, and everything else. Got it? And now... And he was there like at 6 charges already, right? And it was like very, very quickly. And, you know, when those charges go up to like 12, I don't remember how many they go up to. But, you know, then he starts getting furies, where he gets pierces along the way, and resistances, and he gets tanky, and he deals more block damage. Now... Well... well, never mind. Well, so this was obviously a very bad example. But my special here has reduced one of his charges. Now I'm going to take away one more of his charges. Or 2. But, I mean, with Kushala there you can just block. With Wolfie you do need dash back once. I'm being stupid. But by the time I died, he only had 1 charge though. But the point is, like, as long as you throw more specials than he does and don't dash back during his specials much, he'll be fine. So, ideal circumstance is when he throws his level 1 when he's, like, far away enough from you. So now he's at 1 charge. And then you just want to, like, parry the final hit. And you see he stays at 1 charge. Right? And now I'm going to knock him down again. And see, he's got 1 charge. And he's not getting his resistances up. He's not getting his pierce. So again, as a key factor, be that level 1 or level 2. Ultimately, when you ask me how do I survive against Serpent that long? Well, this is the answer. So, see, he's gonna throw his level 2, I think, in a second. And now again, just... I mean, I obviously should not have eaten it, but... See how many charges he gets, like, as I'm dashing back. In the very end, he got, like, 5 or 6. But the point is, you can survive quite long against Serpent, if you're being very careful. Got it? Maybe we'll decide to get closer. Same question. What's your same question? Are you planning on making a spreadsheet? Dude, this is a spreadsheet. I have been working on spreadsheet. Like, I am spreadsheeting like fucking crazy. Alright, fine. So here is Churi. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And now, is the game back online? Yes. Evidently so. Just entered the stage, that's fine. Okay, so for that, Purgatory is good. Gladiator apparently is quite good as well for this. Allegedly. Aside from that, I mean, theoretically, Shatra is okay, but aside from that, you're probably fucked. Heard you use Fantman? I mean, like, I didn't. I think somewhere in the first quest, Fantman could have been useful. Or does Gladiator do dust? Yeah, you use Shatter whenever you want. There you go. Well, Gladiator does dust. Namely, because... Where's that stupid crybaby? That emotionally unstable bitch man. Why wouldn't he? Guys, initially, Later starts the fight with the vigilance buff till 15 seconds while benefiting from personal vigilance effect all through passive through damage on opponent's armor perfects 100 tougher 100% reduced ability accuracy. So once you have your vigilance, your opponent gets the no armor ups. So, you know, you're not so as dependent from AI. Additionally, you can strike her with the intimidate active and you'd still be ramping up, right? So you can knock her down and then just parry, let her go unblockable, strike her, you would be ramping up. And when she's unblockable, you know, bait level 1 and you're fine.
Slap you right in your
Additionally, at some point you gain that vigilance back as well, if I'm not mistaken. Don't remember where, but somewhere is that vigilance. Anyways, point being is, later on, yeah, your level 2s have vigilance. And again, whilst your vigilance is active, you can't get armor ups. So, when she can't get armor ups, your life's much easier against that dust. Additionally, your level 2s do have incinerates to get rid of those crappy sand debuffs if need be. So ultimately, yes, the mother flippin' stupid gladiator is a relatively great option. And now you can sit on it. Now you can sit on my gladiator. I'm kidding. You can't. Alright, so I think that's what I did there. But I used Shatter for the Thanos. That was a great time. That was good solo. I know. You weren't being rude. I was being rude. You know, I am a very bad human being. Can special one into hitting through specials blindly? Oh, yeah, of course you can. Alright, anyways. For Deathless Thanos, we do have Kushala. That should work okay if you didn't use her there. But, you know, I do recommend using her for the serpent anyways. Besides Kushala, you have Spiral. You can do too. I don't think Spiral is great for this. Who use for God besides Jags? That's the neat part. You can't. Yeah, Shadow is very good for Thanos. It's solo the Shadow. Chavez is okay. That's different quest. Wait. Okay, who else would be good here? I mean, Bergder if you didn't use her. Okay. Good, nah, fuck that. I mean, fine, whatever. Wait. Can I disable that? Anyways. There you go. Struggle boss Thanos all 3 quests. Oh, poor baby. Shatra was a nice time for a solo though. No, this is Gorian quest 3. That's it. Not sure if anyone else can do that right. Maybe Hulk. Maybe. Going for like YOLO nuke type thing in the end. Aside from that, how many revives enough for all 3 quests? Well, the amount of revives you require is reversely proportional to the level of your suckage. The more you suck, sorry, the less you suck, the less revives you have. Kind of like. Okay, so, no wait, let me say this properly. The amount of revives you will need is inversely proportional to your skill level. Okay? The more skilled you are, the less revives you'll need. In my case, I used approximately 35, I'd say. 10 of whom genuinely went to the dust being a lucky bitch. I mean, it also depends on AI, of course, but genuinely, I used like 10 of the revives for dusts in round 2 and 3. But it is an option. Character isn't an option and she isn't in the tags. Isn't she? Size L, offensive raw damage. She's here. On her tags. Champions. Where's the purgatory? What size? Size L. Offensive raw damage. Oh no, offensive damage over time, right? What is it raw damage? Wait 1 second. Alright, fair enough. I'll delete her. Going to double check something. Yeah, you're right. You're right when you're right. There you go. But yeah, here. Yeah, so can Black Panther do that fight? I'd argue that it would be like, yes, but nobody has super high sig Black Panther. In between the bleeds and ability accuracy reduction, maybe switching over that region, I think Black Panther high sig could do it, but who the fuck has high sig Black Panther ranked up and is good enough to do that? Definitely not, definitely not. Now you're definitely not. Like maybe. Iron Man doesn't do anything to regions, does he? Oh, he does. He just does the prowess things, right? Region. Oh. So, no Iron Man. You will be fantastic. How are you? Shut up. Yeah, how will Gladiator work? Yeah. Level 3s and have fun. There you go. Oh, look at that. Steve are dropping the best link out there. Alright then. I guess it's time to record a video. Got watching Quest 1. Oh, you can fuck off with that. I mean, I wrote in Quest 1, Nova, Guardian, Long Fight, Infinity Iron Man, but I'm sure there are other options. It's just stupid Long Fight regardless who you use. Just about any champion here can do it. I mean, you can use Corvus, you can use Falcon as well as far as I can, but again, it'll be a long ass fight. Alright then. Might be time to record. Right? Can you pin the spreadsheet? I could, but what I'm gonna get for? Have you hit the like button? Oh, no. I mean, yesterday I saw that fight with Iron Man Infinity War, which was like 15 minutes. 12 minutes, 15, 17 minutes. 17 minutes, I think. Okay. Finance bread cheeks. What do you record? I feel like you should test out OG Spidey. And go one more time. Just to make sure.
I'm sorry.
No.
Actually, what
No.
I said was...
No. I don't want to do that.
How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Kennedy?
I think before I record, try and test out Hulk, more likely. Yeah, Hulk. And then, okay, fine with this relic. It's a wrong relic, I know. Leave me alone. Oh no, I wouldn't mind if Dipshit Steve strikes again, because then I would have a go at him. Forever and ever and ever. Fuck you. I mean, I think it is doable. And obviously I'm gonna get smacked here. Fine. Question is... I mean, you can dex this theoretically as well. Now he wants to throw 4 of these. I know that he does. 1. Okay, yeah. I mean, like, it is doable, I think. The problem is, okay, now I'm gonna sacrifice revive to the gods. Revive in some potions. Problem is, it's not that hard dex, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can dex, for sure. I just have never practiced it. I have dexed it a handful of times, but it's fine. So now, oh wait, I shouldn't have rank. I actually shouldn't have regen much. Okay, it's fine, whatever. Oh wait, he can't... Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely doable with Hulk. Because he does have that node where he can't go above the point where he started. So yeah, it's fine. So we Gucci. Hey, Gucci. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I screwed up the weight, but it's 1,000,000% doable. That's fine. So, now I can actually add in Hulk here. Which is good. Good. Which is good. Now we have Hulk as an alternate option. Booyah! Also, so that note, yeah. Good. Onslaught for Serpent? It's doable. It is doable. Again, you... Probably doable. Do you have Werewolf? Werewolf's better. Anyways. Let's get to the recording business then. Ta-da! Ta-da-da-dum. Ta-da-da-dum. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is guide for Wheel of Fun quest number 3. I know. Everybody seems to hate the wheel, but somehow you're still here, so. One second. There you go, solid 10 minutes for Yash. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are back with another guide for Wheel of Fun. Now, regardless of everybody's opinions, some of you have found your way here, still wanting help in clearing this content. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So first things first, huge shout out to Lord Jerkface, who is the originator of this spreadsheet, and I will leave a link to his original version of this spreadsheet that is completely blank, as intended as a planning tool. My version, however, has all the blank bits, plus effectively the breakdowns of my runs and the champions that I used, listed as chosen counters, and other options based on my and your, well, my stream's suggestions, effectively, that are alternate options there. And so this video, I'm going to break down my run, kind of explain how it went, the strategies of the fights, how it, what I would do different, and suggest alternative options for these fights in case you do not have the said champions, or you just have better options than I did, because, you know, that also happens. So this is quest number 3, and honestly, quest number 3 wasn't too bad. It was also in total about 10 revives, maybe a bit more than 10, but it's mainly because of the dust and dust luck. I think for all 3 quests in total, I used approximately 35 revives, and that luggy dust took about 10 of them, mainly because she just lugs my phone like crazy. I cannot understand why Kabam added her there. But whatever. So, let's go fight by fight. Yeah, this is not meant to be Iron Man, by the way. It's meant to be Juggernaut. Shh. Let's go fight by fight. So fight 1, as we just found out, actually has 2 counters. The Gore, Juggernaut. Very good. Strategies for this fight, fairly straightforward. You can try and special 3 lock with all the buffs that you have a chance to nullify. You can just about special 3 lock quite reliably if your Jug is awakened. Alternatively, you just go for level 2 nukes, hope for decent good nullify RNG, and as an added bonus, try to weave in your heavy attacks after your relic, for instance, because when you drop a heavy attack, you end up staggering the next region, and then if you bait out opponent's special attack, then at the very least Gore's not regioning then. So rank 3 Jugs definitely, you know, took care of business. That's perfectly fine. I just tested. Hulk also works for this fight. Namely, thanks to the fact that all the champions in this quest cannot heal above the health level that they start the fight with. So, you know, you can do as much damage with Hulk as you can. Granted, you must have Despair Mastery. And then, you know, if you do get knocked out, you can actually re-enter the fight and you'll be, you know, fine and dandy and just finish nuking with Hulk. You know, with your level 3, you can get massive physical vulnerability. With level 2, you get a ton of debuffs as well, and then you can go for stun lock and do as much damage as you can. Hulk can do this fight for sure. So for the Dazzler fight, I used Serpent. Serpent, it was fairly straightforward, just kind of like level 1 spam. When I tried to complicate the fight, I did use a revive here. It kind of went fairly poorly. The idea is let her gain the power from the dynamo charges, because you're gaining power in the background as well, and effectively just make sure she does not reach 2 bars of power. So use your level 1 when she's under a bar of power, bait out her level 1s, and you're fine. You don't need to, you know, deal with the power generator really. Additionally, Titania and Zola can do the fight. Just about anybody can do the Dazzler fight though, but it's just going to be very long. Serpent was a very solid option though. Then we have Lady Deathstrike. I used Null. Null works fantastic for this one. You get infinite amounts of arm breaks. You do have regen. There's some willpower heal as well. And yeah, Null was great for it. I didn't play the fight the best, but you know, still great. Solo type of situation. Easy peasy. Good. Additional options would include Shatter and Gladiator. For Lady Deathstrike, again, you can use some other champions here. Don't not use Werewolf by Night because she goes Rupture Immune during your specials, by the way. But yeah, you just kind of go for level 3s with other champions, but not as good. You really do Null, Shatter, Gladiator, in my opinion, here. Enchantress, Photon, a fairly decent fight. Again, this is, if you can Dex Enchantress level 1, this is kind of easier fight than you typically do against Enchantress because she doesn't have the Mystic Dispersion Mastery. You cannot parry her because then you get Tranquilized inflicted on you, but that doesn't matter too much. You can just block bait the heavies out anyways. Matador is not the most awful thing. It still provides you with a decent amount of power. The trick is the unblockable level 1. You know, obviously Photon can survive quite a lot of mistakes, which is why I loved using her. We do have Luke Cage. I think Blade and She-Hulk can do okay for this fight as well. But, you know, I think Photon is by far the best option. Second one being Luke Cage. That was like 1 revive fight. The Thor Ragnarok, that was a solo with Starkhand Spider-Man. Just, you know, rely on massive amount of damage. I have heard very good things about Angela in this fight. Blade should be very good too. I've seen people use Medusa. She's, you know, less than ideal, but serviceable. Iceman, Punisher 2099 are additional options that as well. But, you know, Starkhand Spider-Man was great for me at the very least. For this fight, that was like solid solo. Arcade, I ended up using Guillotine 2099. And it was basically just about never or almost never letting him use specials, and then block baiting his heavies, you know, and, you know, draining him with my level 1s. Kind of like a very slow, steady type play there. I used rank 2 Guillotine, obviously. He did chip me down to the point where my regen triggered, but, you know, the longer the fight goes, the more damage you do. So Guillotine was a solid solo. I have heard people use CMM and Crit Monkey here as well. Hit Monkey. But yeah, for me it was rank 2 Guillotine that did the job. Again, kind of like very slow and steady fight, spamming your level 1s. Do not let him use his specials. The coolest thing about Guillotine's level 1 is that she actually pushed herself out of the range where Arcade could stun you with a heavy attack. So after your level 1, you're actually safe in block baiting a heavy from Arcade, and you will not get stunned, because the way animations work out, Guillotine 2099 pushes herself just outside of that range where you would get stunned if Arcade was to charge heavy attack. So that was super useful. Against Leader, I actually used Omega Red. That's right, people. I got a significant amount of value out of Omega Red in 2025. It was a solo. Omega Red was brilliant. I got my 30 spores. I maintained them for a very long time. I was spamming my level 2s. I finished with 100% health. Omega Red was perfect for this. Now, again, obviously, not everybody has Omega Red. And, you know, let's face it. It's a mega red. Hardly anybody would rank him these days. So Sentinel is popular consensus choice. Sentinel is a very good option here. Red Skull can do this fight too. Domino as well. Those are kind of like the more popular options. Sentinel, Red Skull, Domino. I think very solid. Against Bullseye, I actually did end up ranking up Gentle kind of for this fight because I just pulled him. I would have rank 3'd him soon enough anyways. But I did rank up my Gentle, brought him in, was a fairly easy solo. Obviously, we have Bastion that is amazing here as well, because he does also have the underweight and, you know, his robotics mechanics. Okoye absolutely destroys this fight if you have one. And if you do, then I don't want to talk to you, but whatever. And Jean Grey is not great, but it's kind of serviceable option. Next up, Human Dodge. I used Luke Cage. What's the key then? I don't know, I just kind of hit him a lot. The key is do not let him go debuff immune. So you do want to knock him down, you know, after you gain about power. And that's about it. All damage types that you do is converted into physical damage due to the node, and then when you knock him down with a heavy attack, it's converted to energy damage. But since Luke Cage also has a single hit heavy attack, you effectively only give him single smolder. But the way you do want to play this out within the fight itself is you want to leave your heavy charge protection as the last one. Wait until he has 2 protections active, and then heavy him twice in quick succession. And then you kind of extend the fight and slow down the amount of smolders he gains, and you can, you know, fight longer. Additionally, Deadpool X-Force is very good for this fight. So is Superior Iron Man. Again, you can use Superior Iron Man because all your damage gets changed into physical damage. Then you have Rocket and Joe Fixit that are serviceable options, but I do think that Deadpool X-Force, Superior Iron Man, and Luke Cage are by far the better ones. Serpent, I used Kushala, a straightforward solo. You know, Kushala absolutely destroys that Serpent. There's nothing too special about it. You do need to use 2023 Champion, and then your alternate options are Werewolf by Night. You know, it's not as great, but he's quite serviceable for Serpents too. And Kindred. Again, a reminder for long, big Serpent fights. During Serpent's special attacks, do not be dashing back, because that is how he ramps up. If you spam enough of your special attacks and don't dash back during his special attacks, you can consistently keep him to 0 or a couple of charges. That means he's not going to get his resistance up. That means he's not going to get his pierce. That means he's not going to start getting his passive furies. And you're going to be taking significantly less block damage. And you have a much better chance of surviving long in that fight. Again, he ramps up. One of the reasons is if and when you dash back during his special attacks. Don't do that. That's kind of like crucial for fighting big serpents. Right, moving on. Spiral as Shuri. Shuri is great for this one because she's just quite good. Because she's good for long form content. She can block unblockable special attacks should that happen to be useful. She can land her heavy attack quite easily if that is needed there as well. But you know, generally just the way she plays. You start getting your shocks and you consistently do more damage, and you can kind of slow play yourself into doing a ton of damage without doing a ton of hits, which is perfect for this fight. In reality, just about anybody can do the spiral fight. It's just a very finicky fight, where you typically do want to do medium light combos, where you need to keep an eye out for your combo meter, because every 15 hits you get a falter passive. If you're super aggressive, whenever Spiral is going to shoot her special attack, she's also going to throw her swords at you. And if you do, again, more than medium light medium or medium light combo, she will evade you as well and stun you. So, you know, you typically do end up making quite a few mistakes in that fight, so you just need to be quite careful. Right, anyways, additionally, Okoye destroys that fight. Jabari Panther and Black Panther Civil War should be fairly decent too. For Dust, I used Purgatory, and Purgatory actually does this quite well. It's just that lag that was destroying me whenever any type of issue arose. Again, Purgatory was responsible for like a third of my total revives for all 3 quests. Sorry, not Purgatory, Dust. Anyways, they should have never added Dust, honestly. That lag was killing me. Additional options, Gladiator. With Gladiator, you ideally want your Gladiator to be awakened, because Gladiator prevents her from getting armor ups when you have your Vigilance active. And with Awakened ability, that starts and the beginning of the fight, and then you reapply that on level 2s. Your level 2s also have incinerates on, so Gladiator is somewhat decent option for the dust fight, as well as Shatra. Because remember, not many people remember that Shatra does have a nullify ability in her kit. It's not particularly potent, but it is on her 4th light attack. If you do have wasps, she, sacrifices some of her wasps to nullify a buff. So that is additional way how you can get rid of that armor up. Purgatory is very good though for this fight too, because when you ramp up your neutralizers, she will never be getting those armor ups. And then, in between all the power gain, you do have access to incinerates too. She does well. You just need to kind of like set yourself up well. For Deathless Thanos, again, Shatra was just about perfect for this. I had a great time. I actually soloed this one again on the first try. It was probably the best time I had against that Thanos. Kushala, Chavez, Purgatory are additional options as well. Yeah, I think those are just about the best ones there. I think you do need to kind of distribute when you use Kushala, when you use Shatra, when you use Purgatory in this quest, because all of them have solid counters. So it is best if you do have just about all of them available to you. Right. So effectively that was my run. On this run again, I used about 10 revives, maybe slightly more, but again it was mainly because of dust. So if I go over, so Gore was solo, Dazzler was 1 revive, Lady Deathstrike was solo. Oh wait, yeah, Dazzler was, yeah, I messed up against Dazzler. That was 1 revive, that was solo, that was 1 revive because I was awful at the game, and just at the end I died. Starkhand Spider-Man was solo, there was solo, there was solo, there was solo. Human Torch was 1 revive, so far I have used what, 2 revives up until here. Serpent was solo. Spiral was solo. I actually used less than. Holy crap. Here I used like 5, honestly. Like, and that was like 5 revives for sure with Purgatory because of the lag. So I think I used like 7 revives total here. I need to adjust my estimate. I think it was about 30 revives I used total for this entire thing then. Not too bad. Quest number 3 was actually seemingly easier than quest number 2 and 1, honestly, if you do have the options. So yeah, there we go. Let me know if you have any more questions. Obviously, again, I will leave a link to both spreadsheets, effectively my version of it and the original made by Lord Jerkface that I co-opted for my own goals with, other options. So there you go. Hope these are helpful to you, regardless of what community at large thinks about this piece of content. Obviously, there are still people trying to complete it, and I am trying my best to help you guys out. Hit that like button for that. Maybe, just maybe I earn your sum today as well. But that's it for me now. I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next one. Hello. Can you please tell me how to play Gladiator and Lady Deathstrike match? I just reached it. Well, ramp up your Gladiator, make sure your power doesn't get burned, and I think mainly use level 3s. Not mainly, exclusively use level. There you go. It's gonna be a long fight. Not great. So use Gladiator rank 1 or Titania rank 3. Honestly, I'd probably use Titania there. Sergeant who works there, don't have DPX. I used Luke Cage. See? Luke Cage was 1 revive. Additionally, Superior Iron Man should be good. I don't understand you guys. The spreadsheets here, I literally just recorded the video. Yeah, Titania works is just long fight, but Gladiator is also going to be a long fight. So, there you go. So, that is quest 2. I need to start the upload for quest 3. And then I'm going to need to make another video when I'm done streaming for my overall thoughts about piece of content. Because honestly, I know this is not going to be what you guys want. Here. I already done a video on quest 2. Yes. And the sheet is done for quest 2 as well. And that link to that sheet is in the pinned comment. I haven't uploaded the video yet, but I recorded it earlier in the stream. Okay, so now real talk. Real talk. Second round Dust, Sunspot, Bishop, or Gentle for her. Negasonic is the best. I used Sunspot. It was a fairly shitty time. I do think Sunspot's still gonna do better than Bishop or Gentle though. Dazzler is an option too. Dazzler is an option. But I don't know. Also, OG Spider-Man, it's a good option. It works? Okay, fine. Hulk. There you go. Thanks for it. You're very welcome. Right, okay, so real talk. Real talk here. So, haters, beware. Soy boys, this is your trigger warning. I actually don't hate it that much. I don't love it, don't get me wrong. I still think it's fairly poor content. You know, I didn't have a ton of fun. But it wasn't like super miserable either. Some of the fights were like shit. I'm gonna list things that I think about fucked up badly. Number one, either Human Torch should not be in the quest or Human Torch should be in the selector. Because they blue balled us hard. That is kind of PR stuff though. Not the quest design stuff. It's not that Human Torch fight was awful or anything, but yeah, blue balling community like that with the Human Torch, shit. Right. Number one. But two, thing that I hate about it is the fact that they included dust in it. They know for a fact that dust lags many players' phones to shit, and it's still in there. You hate that. Number three thing that I don't like about it is the rewards. No 6 stones is a huge fucking L. No 6 stones is a huge fucking L. I go and even without the no 6 stones, the fact that you have to kind of like pick in between the Nexus Titan or that selector feels shit because it doesn't have an Nexus Titan in itself. You know, you have to pick either or, and yeah, and no XP in it as well. It doesn't feel quite right. There should at least be like 106 on. I think Epoch of Pain had like 150. So, number one, Human Torch Blue Walls. Number two, Dust. Number three, the rewards. Because I do think the rewards are going to be outdated by the time July 4th comes. And I do think with the level of difficulty here and the roster requirement, you know, nobody's going to give a shit about this piece of content in like half a year. Because if you're a young progressing player, you can do the Ordeal, you can do the Epoch of Pain, you can skip this. At the same time, and this is again speaking, and this is the problem with that content, because that content has no big target audience, in my opinion. Because again, in half a year, nobody's going to care about it. And right now, there's a very, very limited amount of players who can do it. Players like me, which I'm not telling the Kebab needs to make content, and I don't think they did a good job making this content for. But, you know, for me, realistically speaking, it took about, you know, let's say 8 hours of playing time. So it's not like massively long. All story content chapters used to take that long. New story content chapters take, you know, slightly less, like 6 hours or something. I used about 30 revives, something like that, from my stash. Potions also from my stash. It didn't even open the green crystals. So it didn't have like any cost there to me. Didn't really have to rank up anybody for this. You know, I ranked up Gentle, but I was gonna do that anyways, so I just use for the most part. And you know, no, it's not like Crucible. And I didn't absolutely hate it. I completely understand why many people hate it though, because I don't think this restrictive design is good for the game. I don't think the fact that you need to do like a BS Lady Deathstrike fight with, you know, like a fucking Iron Man Infinity War or Guardian, and then just, you know, do level 3s for 70 minutes or some shit like that. Awful. It's bad design. So some of the fights there, like Lady Deathstrike, I think, for Quest 1 was miserable. I think Dust should not have been there. I think, you know, Spiral was just flat out nasty fight, but since you can use just about anybody, you know, it's not fun, but you can do it. I don't think there's that many problems with it. Again, as I mentioned, like, round 1, Lady Deathstrike. I think, you know, in some quests, some of the fights are, like, very, very annoying, so I can't say it was, like, the most fun. Some of the fights were kind of cool, though. But I also completely get why so many people. I really do. Because it is significantly more shit than Crucible used to be, than, you know, Gauntlet was upon the release, and so on and so forth. Bullseye Quest 3 is also bad if you don't have 2025 champion. Yeah, I completely agree. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's a different perspective. Like, because for me and my personal experience, you know, I got a 7-star Awakening gem, I got a rank 4, I got a, you know, Titan Nexus and a couple of crystals and stuff for 8 hours of game time and like 30 revives from my stash. It's not that bad. As in, like, me, I'm not, you know, utterly hating it. I hated the things most that I listed. That, you know, there are a couple of fights that take 17 minutes or 15 minutes. That should not happen. Then, oh yeah, Gore as well, I think, was a shit idea to add. But whatever. Anyways, so some of the long, tedious fights shouldn't be there. I don't think Dust should be there. But that's, you know, my issue with the lag. More so than anything else. I hate the Human Torch Blue Ball. And I do think the rewards are quite shit. Because I do think the rewards are going to be outdated for... And I think, like, I think they are quite shit for the amount of effort, and they're not going to remain relevant because they didn't add too many stuff that would keep it relevant, like 6 stones. Like, because 6 stones will retain their value for a very long time still, because Kabam are extremely stingy with that. So, and I do get it why everybody hates that quest so much. That's why I was also kind of so surprised, because I did the quest initially, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, it's like, it's kind of whatever, like, some things are annoying. And I was like, you know, somewhat annoyed, somewhat frustrated for that Lady Deathstrike fight. And then I went in the forums, and forums are on fire. And that entirely is obviously the difference of, you know, I have played the game for like very, very long time, and, you know, I do have quite a big roster, including the 7-star roster, and, you know, I'm not the least skilled player, despite what some of you say in comment sections. So I don't think it was a great piece of content. Like, I think recent content, I think the best thing they did was Necropolis Korean challenges, actually. Well, to be fair, like, Shatra for Quest 3 was perfectly fine. And do the God fight in the second quest, a spot? Is that an option? That's like a fucking miserable time. How the fuck did you do that? How many revives of that? Quest 2. I took them to each time. Okay, that makes sense. Apparently, Adam Warlock can now damage God's healing, kind of. Apparently, that's what I had. Mr. Negative could have been an option. Oh yeah, that's what I did. There you go. So, I think I'm kind of done with the stream. For now. Now I do need to make the thumbnails, make the titles, link the stuff, and I do need to record my overall thoughts video, which you guys basically heard now that I'm going to talk about. Because I do think, obviously, there are issues. Again, I think the rewards are not great. As in, like, could have been better. I think the Human Torch Blue Ball was bullshit move. I do think Dust should not be in there. And I do think some of the tags or some of the fights were not well thought through at all. Also, one thing that did not make sense to me at all is that quest number 1 is like the second hardest one. Quest number 3, I'd argue, is quest number 2, I'd argue, is the hardest one, and quest number 3 is I think the easier one if you got the champions. Like with those, it kind of didn't make sense to me because there's like no scaling in here. Like there's no health pool scaling, no attack value scaling. The nodes are the same, everything else, and it genuinely, I think quest number 3 was easier. Anyways, so there are some more videos coming. I hope you guys have enjoyed the streams. You guys are absolutely awesome. Please do hit that like button on your way out, and well, bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all